I'm thinking about going from sales to management. What is it that I need to know and why? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about sales to management. And I want to let you in on something. It doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter what product you offer. Everybody in your office, to the point, either hates salespeople, has some disgust for them, or doesn't like that they make all the money. And it's important for you to know this because there's a lot of tension. There is the us versus them mentality in a lot of places that you're going to go. And for whatever reason, a lot of people who get paid by the hour think that sales is really easy. They think that a sales guy shows up to a job or meets with a buyer, and mysteriously that buyer just says yes with no problems and no issues. And what you're going to find is everything that comes down is typically solved from management by putting more conditions on the salespeople. And it's hardly ever the office's fault for things going wrong. It's always the fault of the salesperson. You're like, Scott, if I'm going into sales management, why do I need to know this? Because here's what's going to happen. You are going to get pulled into meetings, and everybody's going to look at you and go, what's wrong with your sales team? Oh, what do you mean? Well, they're not doing this right. They're not doing that right. They're not doing this right. And what it really comes down to is the people in the office, they're looking at the salesperson, and they're like, do you see how much money that guy makes? I know how much money that guy makes. I talked to over in accounting, and they told me how much that sales guy makes every year. Or the sales guy may slip up and say, hey, last year I made $280,000, okay? So what happens is, in the mind of somebody in the office who's making 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, they're like, it's not fair that this person goes into a sales call, walks away after a couple minutes and makes a couple grand or a couple $100 when I gotta work an entire week to make that type of money. There's a comparison in the mind. So almost every problem that you're gonna deal with as a sales manager against the office comes down to this simplicity. That guy makes a bunch of money, he's a whiner, he's a crybaby, he is all these other words that you want to use, and then so everybody else in the office starts going whiner, crybaby, and they start saying this salesperson should be around. And I've seen this happen a couple of times where a sales guy goes back to work somewhere, and the people in the office say, I don't want that guy to come back, and people will look around and go, why? And they go, because he's always asking me to do things. I'm like, duh, because he's a closer, right? So first thing you got to know, if you're going from sales to management, nobody likes salespeople. They either have disdain, they have disgust, or pure hatred for them, and almost all of your problems in the world of being a manager from the people around you are going to start with this one point. So if you've never been to my channel before, you got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out another fantastic video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Aloha.